Disclaimer: it's inspired by reality, shaped by imagination.
What happens when Jackie Chan walks onto The View, expecting a thoughtful conversation about technology, only to be pressed by Joy Behar on one of the most terrifying questions of our time? What follows is one of the most intense, unpredictable, and emotionally charged clashes daytime TV has ever seen. It all began on a Wednesday morning. The audience was buzzing, the cameras were rolling, and Jackie stepped onto the stage with his usual smile. But that smile didn't last long. Joy opened the discussion with a bold statement, comparing the rise of artificial intelligence to the threat of nuclear weapons. Jackie froze. Then he pushed back, harder than anyone expected. What started as a debate about safety spiraled into a battle of worldviews. Joy questioned whether AI could surpass human control. Jackie warned that fear could become more dangerous than the technology itself. Each exchange got sharper. Each point hit deeper. The tension in the studio turned electric. And as the clash escalated, the panel, the audience, and even Jackie himself were forced to confront something bigger than headlines or tech predictions. This wasn't just a disagreement. It was a collision of fear, experience, belief, and two unstoppable personalities.
The moment Jackie Chan walked out, the audience jumped to their feet. He gave that familiar half-bow, half-wave, warm, humble, grateful. It was the kind of entrance only Jackie could pull off. But beneath the applause and cheerful energy, something else hung in the air. A topic that didn't fit the light mood. Joy Behar didn't waste a second. "So Jackie," she said, leaning her elbow on the table, "we're talking about something a little heavy today. A lot of experts are warning that AI might already be more dangerous than nuclear weapons. Do you agree?" The room shifted. The applause died. Jackie sat down slowly, giving Joy a thoughtful look. "That's a very strong comparison, and a scary one." Joy nodded, already bracing herself. "Scary, but realistic. We're creating systems that can think, react, and outpace human intelligence. And unlike nuclear weapons, anyone can build this technology. Doesn't that worry you?" Jackie clasped his hands, elbows resting lightly on the table. "It worries me when we don't control it. But fear can push us into bigger mistakes." Joy smiled with that sharp glint the show was famous for. "So you're saying we shouldn't be afraid?" "I'm saying we should be careful. Fear makes people act fast. Care makes people act smart." A few audience members murmured in response. Some nodded. Others raised their eyebrows. Anna chimed in next. "Jackie, you've done your own stunts your whole life. Doesn't that change the way you think about danger? You face risk all the time." Jackie laughed softly. "Risk, I understand, but danger is different. A stunt is planned, practiced, controlled. If something goes wrong, it's because we made a mistake, not because the equipment suddenly decided it knows better than us." Joy jumped in. "That's exactly my point. AI might decide things without us. That's the part that scares me." Jackie sat up straighter. "But who builds the AI? Humans. We're responsible for it. If something goes wrong, it's our fault, not its." The audience gave a quick, scattered clap. Nothing overwhelming, more like a polite acknowledgement. But Joy wasn't done. "You know, Jackie," she said, crossing her arms, "experts in the field are sounding alarms. People who invented the technology are telling us it might get out of our hands. When the people who built the rocket say the rocket might explode, maybe we should listen." Jackie leaned back, eyes narrowing just slightly, not in anger, but in that focused, analytical way he gets before delivering something meaningful. "I listen, but I also ask questions. If we compare AI to nuclear weapons, we're saying it's something that can destroy humanity. That kind of fear can freeze progress." Anna chimed in. "Jackie, you've done your own stunts your whole life. Doesn't that change the way you think about danger? You face risk all the time." Jackie laughed softly. "Risk, I understand, but danger is different. A stunt is planned, practiced, controlled. If something goes wrong, it's because we made a mistake, not because the equipment suddenly decided it knows better than us." Joy jumped in. "That's exactly my point. AI might decide things without us. That's the part that scares me." Jackie sat up straighter. "But who builds the AI? Humans. We're responsible for it. If something goes wrong, it's our fault, not its. The audience gave a quick, scattered clap. Nothing overwhelming, more like a polite acknowledgement. But Joy wasn't done. "You know, Jackie," she said, crossing her arms, "experts in the field are sounding alarms. People who invented the technology are telling us it might get out of our hands. When the people who built the rocket say the rocket might explode, maybe we should listen." Jackie leaned back, eyes narrowing just slightly, not in anger, but in that focused, analytical way he gets before delivering something meaningful. "I listen, but I also ask questions. If we compare AI to nuclear weapons, we're saying it's something that can destroy humanity. That kind of fear can freeze progress." Anna raised her hand. "Or it can save us from rushing into disaster." A wave of applause rippled across the studio. Sonny added gently, "Both of you seem to agree on something, though, that this technology needs caution." Jackie nodded. "Yes, but we must stay balanced. I've seen what fear can do. When people get scared, they hurt each other. They jump to extremes." Joy leaned forward. "And I've seen what overconfidence does. People say, 'Don't worry, we'll figure it out.' Then something terrible happens." Jackie's jaw tightened. Not hard, but noticeable. Joy watched him closely. "Jackie, you've seen danger up close more than anyone at this table. Are you sure you're not underestimating this one?" Jackie took a breath. Slow. Controlled. He never underestimates danger. The tone shifted again. The audience felt it instantly. Something about the way he said it, quiet but firm, signaled that Jackie wasn't just making a point now. He was speaking from experience. Real experience. Joy clocked the change too, her expression tightening. Whoopi sat back, sensing the friction starting to rise. "All right, I feel something building here." The audience laughed nervously. Jackie leaned forward, resting his forearms on the table. "Fear is important, but if we start believing AI is the new nuclear weapon, we're telling the world the future is already doomed, and I can't accept that." Joy held his gaze. "And I can't accept pretending everything is fine." The audience let out a low "ooh." Just like that, the temperature in the room climbed several degrees. Nothing explosive yet, but the sparks weren't sparks anymore. They were embers. Hot. Quiet. Ready to catch fire at the slightest push. Joy leans forward like she's ready to take a bite out of the conversation. Her voice jumps an octave as she cuts through the chatter. "Jackie, you keep talking about responsibility, but you're dodging the truth. AI isn't some misunderstood gadget. It's already replacing jobs, creating deepfakes, and pushing people to the brink. Isn't it time we admit it's out of control?" Jackie adjusts in his chair with the same patience he'd use on a stunt gone wrong. "It's not out of control. People are out of control. If you hand a child a firecracker, who's responsible when things blow up? The firecracker or the adult who gave it to him?" Joy waves a hand. "You're comparing firecrackers to algorithms that can imitate world leaders and start panic. That's not the same thing." Whoopi jumps in, trying to mediate. "Let's back up. Jackie, a lot of folks think you're downplaying real danger. You've worked with global teams, you've seen the effects of technology firsthand, so why not admit that AI could escalate tensions in the world?" Jackie takes a breath. "Because fear isn't the solution. Education is. Leadership is. When people start comparing AI to nuclear bombs, they're feeding fear instead of building understanding." Sunny lifts her brows. "But isn't fear sometimes the thing that gets people to act? If governments won't regulate it and tech companies push half-finished products into the world, doesn't that make the comparison fair?" Jackie shakes his head. "No. Nuclear weapons exist for one purpose: destruction. AI exists to help us do things better. It can diagnose diseases faster, predict disasters, assist disabled communities. The problem starts when people with power decide to exploit it." Joy folds her arms tighter. "You're acting like the good outweighs the bad. Meanwhile, people can't tell what's real anymore. That doesn't scare you?" "It worries me, but it doesn't paralyze me. When cars were invented, people said they were death machines. They still can be, but we built roads, rules, training. AI needs the same thing, not panic, structure." Anna nods slowly.
Structure is great, but we don't have it. That's the point. It's moving too fast. People are experimenting with AI tools in their basements while governments are still asking what a GPU is. Joy jumps back in. Exactly. That's why your optimism feels misplaced. Artists are losing work. Writers are losing work. Actors are being digitally replaced. And we're supposed to clap because AI can make a cute drawing? Jackie doesn't get defensive, but his tone sharpens. If someone can replace your entire career with a machine, the problem didn't start with the machine. It started long before that, with how the industry treated people. The table goes quiet for a second. Even the audience feels it. Sonny leans in. Are you saying creative workers should adapt or get left behind? Jackie replies, I'm saying industries should value their workers enough to protect them. But pretending that AI is some monster hiding behind the curtain won't fix anything. It'll only distract us from the real issue, the people using it irresponsibly. Joy narrows her eyes. So you don't think AI is becoming more dangerous than nuclear weapons, you think people are. Jackie answers, yes, people always have been. The viewers murmur. Some nod, others bristle. Whoopi fires back with new energy. That's too convenient, Jackie. You're blaming humanity as a whole to avoid confronting the fact that AI is evolving faster than we can control. Nuclear weapons aren't going to wake up one morning and rewrite their own code. Jackie leans in just as firmly. Neither is AI. It doesn't think, it doesn't plan, it doesn't want anything. People project their fears onto it. Whoopi steps in again. But fears come from somewhere, and folks see enough examples of AI being abused to worry. And they should worry, Jackie says, just not in the way you're framing it. Nuclear weapons can end the world in minutes. AI cannot. But people misusing AI can cause chaos, and that's where the focus should be. Joy presses her palms to the table. Then let's call it what it is, a tool that's gotten too powerful in the wrong hands. Jackie nods slowly. On that, we agree. But the tension is still there. No resolution, no handshake, no easing off. Just two sides staring at the same problem from completely different angles, both convinced they're seeing the clearer picture.
The temperature on the set shifts the way it does before a storm. The audience senses it. The hosts sense it. Jackie senses it. Joy leans in with renewed fire, ready to turn the argument into something personal. You talk like AI is harmless until someone misuses it, she says. But you're not paying attention to what real people are going through. You live in a world of movie sets and stunt teams. Out here, folks are terrified. They see AI taking over their jobs. They see deepfakes of themselves online. They see scams so realistic they lose their savings. They don't get to shrug it off the way you are. Jackie's expression tightens. I'm not shrugging anything off. Feels like you are, Joy says. Feels like you're telling everyone to calm down while the ground is shifting under them. He lifts his hands as if steadying the air between them. I'm saying fear shouldn't be the driver. When fear runs things, people make bad choices. History shows that. Sonny jumps in. But fear is the reality for a lot of families. You say AI isn't like nuclear weapons, that it isn't inherently destructive, but destructive outcomes are already happening. People are being extorted by deepfake kidnappers. Elections are being manipulated. Students are turning in AI-written work and losing the ability to think critically. Jackie nods slowly. I know, and it hurts to see it. But we can't throw the entire technology into the fire because of what some people do with it. Joy seizes the opening. That's the same logic people use to defend tech companies that created social media addiction. That's different, Jackie says. Those companies created systems designed to hook people. AI is not a system. It's a tool. It's not trying to manipulate you unless someone programmed it that way. Joy taps the table, leaning so close the cameras shift to catch the moment. And that's the point. Tools with that much power shouldn't be accessible to anyone who feels like experimenting. You keep separating the tool from the person, but in the real world they're tied together. Jackie's jaw tenses. Then we regulate the people. We create laws. We demand oversight. Anna steps in softly. But governments don't even understand AI. Half the time they can't define the terms. How do you regulate something you barely grasp? Jackie lets out breath that sounds like frustration bubbling through calm. Then we invest in education. We push for experts to be in charge. We don't sit back and say, it's too complicated, so we should fear it. That's how you create a generation afraid of its own future. Joy won't let the point go.
You keep saying fear is the problem. What about responsibility? What about accountability? What about the tech bros who brag about replacing millions of jobs because they think it's clever? Jackie looks right at her now, not aggressive, but unfiltered. I grew up with nothing. I worked every day of my life. I didn't get where I am by waiting for the world to stay the same. The world changes whether we like it or not. We either learn to work with it or we get left behind. Joy stiffens. So now you're blaming people for being scared? No, Jackie says. I'm saying fear is natural, but living in fear is a choice. That lands hard. The audience stirs. Some clap, some groan. The tension folds into a heavy silence. Sonny turns to Jackie. Do you understand why that sounded dismissive? People aren't choosing fear. They're drowning in it. He softens just a little. I do understand, really, but we have to separate fear from fact. And the fact is, AI hasn't killed millions. AI hasn't burned cities. It hasn't poisoned nations. Nuclear weapons have. That comparison isn't fair. Joy sighs dramatically. But AI is eroding society from the inside. Nuclear weapons don't need to be dropped to keep people up at night. AI doesn't need to blow something up to destroy trust, destroy jobs, or destroy reputations. Jackie lets out a breath that carries real weight. Maybe the comparison makes good TV. Maybe it makes a catchy headline. But it distracts from the real threats, and people deserve better than that. Joy sits back, narrowing her eyes. You think I'm here to make a headline? He holds her gaze. If the shoe fits, the studio gasps, and the room explodes.
The gasp that sweeps through the studio hangs in the air like static. Even the camera crew freezes for a heartbeat. Joy sits still, jaw tight, eyes narrowed, studying Jackie as if deciding whether to fire back or walk away. Jackie doesn't blink. He stays calm, but the calm has an edge now, a sharpened outline. Whoopi raises both hands. Let's breathe for a second. No one breathes. Joy leans forward. So let me get this straight. You think I sit here every day, look into a camera, and intentionally scare people? Jackie speaks evenly. I think sometimes fear gets used because it grabs attention. That's not just you, that's the whole media world. Fear sells. Anna winces. Sonny glances between them like she's watching a fuse burn down. The audience reacts with a messy mix of booing, clapping, and muttering. Someone in the back actually shouts, "Let him speak!" Another yells, "Show some respect!" Joy's smile is thin now. You want to talk about what sells? You've made entire careers off movies that show violence, chaos, and people jumping off rooftops. Don't lecture me about sensationalism. The crowd gasps again. Jackie absorbs the hit without moving. Movies are fiction. Everyone knows that. News is supposed to be truth. Joy's voice rises. So you're calling me a liar now? I'm calling out fear-mongering. If that feels like an accusation, maybe there's a reason. The temperature spikes. The panel looks stunned. Whoopi glances off stage like she's silently begging someone in the control room to cut to commercial. No one does. Joy leans across the table, eyes sharp as glass. You came here to promote a movie about, let me check my notes, rogue technology destroying society, and you're telling me I'm the one feeding fear? Jackie shakes his head. That film uses fiction to spark conversation. You're using fear as fact. That's insulting. No. What's insulting is telling people the world is ending because a computer program got smarter. The studio erupts. The hosts' reactions collide. Anna looks stunned. Sonny rubs her forehead. Whoopi mutters something under her breath that sounds like a prayer. The audience is fully split now, some cheering Jackie's bluntness, others booing loudly. Joy raises her voice above the noise. You think AI turning into a weapon isn't a real risk? I think fear will make it a weapon faster than technology will. Then explain. Explain how fear is more dangerous than a machine that can outthink human beings. Jackie pauses. Something changes in his eyes. And when he speaks again, his voice carries weight, not anger, experience. I've seen what fear does to people. I've seen crowds turn violent because someone told them to be afraid. I've seen young actors panic themselves into giving up because the industry scared them.
I watched whole communities tear themselves apart because fear was easier to spread than truth. Joy stays quiet for a beat. Then her tone hardens. That's emotional, not logical. It's human. Human doesn't save jobs. Human doesn't protect democracy. Human doesn't stop AI from replacing millions of workers. Jackie's patience finally cracks. His voice sharpens. And paranoia doesn't build solutions. The room jolts. Jackie's hand hits the table, not slamming, but firm enough to make his water bottle rattle. He leans forward for the first time, meeting Joy with full intensity. You want people terrified. I want people prepared. Joy stands up. The audience gasps again, louder than any before. Chairs scrape. The camera swings to catch it. Whoopi reaches out instinctively. Joy! Joy steps back from the table, hands braced at her hips. I'm not going to sit here and be told I want people terrified. That's not just wrong, it's offensive. Jackie rises too, slower, calmer, but unflinching. I'm not attacking you. I'm calling out a pattern. Sonny whispers, oh boy, under her breath. Anna tries to mediate. Let's bring it down, please. But the train has left the station. Joy points toward Jackie. You don't get it. People are scared because the world is changing faster than they can keep up. And you stand here saying they should just stop being afraid. That's not realistic. That's arrogant. Jackie takes a breath that's heavy and tired. I never said people should stop being afraid. I said fear shouldn't be the compass. Same difference. No, it's not. Joy folds her arms. So what? You think you're the expert now? You think because you've lived through Hollywood danger, you can lecture the rest of us about real threats? That hit something unexpected in Jackie. I know danger. I've broken bones, been burned, nearly died doing my work. I've seen danger up close, and AI isn't danger. People are. Joy shakes her head. This isn't a movie set, Jackie. And this isn't a crisis. Not yet. You're acting like it already is. That line snaps something. Joy's voice leaps an octave. You're minimizing people's fear, and you're amplifying it. There it is, the explosion. Both on their feet, both talking over each other, the audience roaring so loud it becomes a wall of noise. Whoopi tries to cut through it, but even her voice is drowned out. Finally, the control room does what they should have done 10 minutes ago. The lights shift. The music hits. They cut to emergency commercial, and the screen fades to black, leaving the world wondering what they just witnessed.
When the commercial break ends, the studio looks different. The energy has settled, but not softened. It feels charged in a quieter way, like the aftermath of lightning. Joy and Jackie are both seated again, though neither looks particularly comfortable. Joy has her arms folded tight, and Jackie sits with his hands clasped, eyes lowered for a moment before lifting toward the audience. Whoopi jumps in first. All right, she says, with a steady voice, we're back. Things got heated. That happens. These conversations matter, and sometimes they go places none of us expect. The audience gives a cautious round of applause, more supportive than celebratory. Joy adjusts her microphone. She doesn't look at Jackie yet. We're talking about something that hits people hard, she says. AI is changing the world, and a lot of folks feel left behind. I'm protective of them. Sometimes maybe too protective. Jackie nods slowly. I understand that, he says, voice softer than before. People are scared, and I don't blame them. I really don't. But fear can't be the only frame we use. I reacted because I've seen fear used in ways that destroy more than any machine ever could. There's a sincerity in his tone the audience didn't hear earlier. It shifts the room a little. Joy exhales, looking tired more than angry. Maybe I pushed you too hard. Maybe I took it personally. But I worry about what we lose when we embrace every new thing without questioning it. Jackie meets her eyes. And I worry about what we lose when we let fear decide everything. Whoopi smiles gently. Sounds like the two of you actually agree more than you admit. The audience laughs, the tension finally cracking. Joy gives a reluctant smile. Maybe a little. Jackie offers one back. Maybe. Sonny jumps in with a final thought. Whatever side anyone takes, these conversations matter because AI isn't going away. We need to talk about it responsibly, not with panic, not with blind optimism, with balance. Anna nods, and if today proved anything, it's that people care. A lot. The camera pans across the audience. Some faces look thoughtful, others emotional. A woman in the front row wipes her eyes. A man near the center gives Jackie a thumbs up. Another woman mouths, "Thank you," toward Joy. It's rare to see a crowd that divided earlier now sit in shared reflection. Joy turns to Jackie again. "I respect you, even when you drive me crazy." Jackie laughs. "Same to you." The hosts share a short, genuine moment of peace, the kind that feels earned. Whoopi closes the segment. "Today was intense, but important. We hope everyone at home keeps the conversation going. Talk to your family. Talk to your friends. Don't let fear take over. Don't let confusion shut you down. Stay informed. Stay curious." The audience applauds, warmer this time. Jackie waves. Joy nods to the crowd. The cameras start their slow pullback, catching the lingering hum of emotion in the studio. The screen fades on two people who clashed hard, disagreed fiercely, but reminded the world that even in outrage, dialogue still matters. And as social media erupts, clips already trending, debates already starting, the moment becomes bigger than the show. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more dramatic celebrity showdowns.